We're going to start talking about the drawing and sketch track first. So there's a variety of classes available. I'm just going to switch to this one. So the first class that we're going to talk about is dynamic spaces, perspective drawing with markers and watercolor. So this is a really good class that's going to cover everything from perspective and how to apply color to create depth using warm colors to come forward, cool colors to recede. It's about capturing just the environment in front of you. It's a really good class for people that are interested in landscape, of course, but also for people that are interested in illustration or animation and need to be able to capture things at a high rate of speed. Um, we're going to move on. So we have sketching with watercolor in plain air. So this, instead of where the previous class was dealing with like photo references and things of this nature, this is a class where they'll go into the public and draw things from life, which is a very different skill set, but also still really important for those animation students. And CalArts wants this kind of stuff. It's really good for you. But it's a different strategy to approach something in plein air, to actually draw it from life. The light is changing constantly, and there's different strategies you have to apply to that instead of working from photo reference. So this is a really important class for anybody who wants to improve their skill set, and it's also going to give you the skill to just kind of be in public with your sketchbook and capture things in front of you without just taking a photo the entire time, although it's good to take a photo for future reference as well. Portrait and figure drawing. And these are examples of student work, by the way, that are coming up here. Don't need to neglect to mention that from the plein air classes and things like that, and kind of see what's being produced. So portrait and figure drawing is an essential skill. It's a little bit more advanced. People that are like DS2, but at the same time, it's going to be live models. We're going to see, not what I needed to do. I actually don't know how I just did that. So, there we go. My apologies, everybody. Reboot it. I just wanted to go to the next one. So, portrait and figure drawing are essential skills for anybody who wants to basically increase their technical skill in art overall. Same with the plein air. When you're dealing with a live model and figure drawing, it's like different skill sets than working from photos. They will be doing portraits from good photo references and then figure drawing from live models. So this is a very important class for anybody who's interested in pursuing art in from illustration to entertainment designers to animators. But it's also a really good class to just enrich your skill set for those supplemental portfolios and to show that you can kind of work with these things. They're really good pieces for all types of portfolio production as you go into the future for AP, supplemental, pretty much across the board. It's a bread and butter skill for artists. Pen and ink expressive portraiture. So we're going to be going over different pen and ink techniques within this class. Everything from stippling to hatching and like plane changes and how to follow different planes. But pen and ink is a great way to do it. It gives textural elements and really adds a great expressive to portraiture. So it's a different medium than what a lot of students are accustomed to doing within classes where they're used to using charcoal or pencil. They have to adapt to the texture elements of pen, which can actually add a lot of different emotional weight and just expressive weight to the pieces overall. Pen and ink with watercolor markers. So we also have examples of some pen and ink portraiture over here and different approaches. So pen and ink with watercolor markers and marketplaces. So it's about capturing the kind of bustle of, and the energy of a marketplace and all the different mixed of colors and techniques. We're going to use mixed media techniques to move through this using watercolor markers together. It's another environment-based piece, but usually they're more intimate. And so instead of big landscapes, you're going to have zoomed into certain environments and really finding things that way. So perspective drawing with markers, interiors, and exteriors. So this is a good, strong introduction into perspective drawing and how to utilize 1 point and 2 point to create interiors and exteriors using photo reference as well as creative approaches to it. This is a good kind of class to really kind of push yourself and start using different techniques than a lot of the observational things and actually measuring space using kind of geometry, but in a nutshell. But it's a really important skill set. It's one we cover in AP, and taking a class of this nature, if you do really well with it, could actually get you ahead on your creative work later. Quick sketch with watercolor. So this is also just kind of principles of big basic forms, values, and how to create atmosphere and depth. But they're also meant to be very fast. So ability to capture things at a high rate of speed in your sketchbook, which can help you with what's called cafe drawing, which is an approach similar to this. And it's basically a skill set for you to sketch in public, a lot like plein air, but a faster version of it. Something so you can do multiple pieces in public instead of, say, focusing on one. So it's also with watercolor, which has a lot of really good dynamic emotion to it and movement through the entire piece. So lovely pieces tend to come out of this on a regular basis. These are some examples of some of those pieces with quick sketch and watercolor. Some very strong student examples. Last but definitely not least is sketching basics. So if you're new and you need to kind of get into this and you need to learn kind of core skills so that you can take other classes, this is your class. This class is super important. So a lot of our students learn these things over the school year, taking once a week classes, but this is a condensed version of this class dealing with how basic form, basic values, renderings, plane changes, value patterns, everything we usually talk about in our basic drawing and sketch classes condensed into a week, covering primarily still life with a couple of other basic shapes. This gives you a great introduction into these technical skills, and it's super important for anybody who wants to pursue these and pursue anything else in the future going forward. So we're going to go to the first color group.